And welcome back to Clutch Time. This is your host, Rico. And in today's show, we are looking at Game 2 recaps. And so we're looking at the SWBA Playoffs. We're looking at the games that took place last night in the association. And so we are going to start off with the Detroit Pistons versus the New York Knicks. You can see that the Pistons won this game 100-94. And we're looking at the key takeaways from this game. And so I think that point number one is just that it was Cade Cunningham's ability to get going. In this game, he had 33 points. He was +5 in the plus minus box score. He had 12 rebounds and he had 3 assists. He was 10 of 12 from the free throw line and 11 of 21 from the field in 42 minutes. And so what I loved about Cade Cunningham is I felt like that he made his adjustments in game 2. I think that initially the defense of the New York Knicks and OG Anunoby, I think that he did a terrific job initially in game 1. And I think in game 2, you saw a Cade Cunningham that was still just as aggressive in game 1, but I think he understood defensively what the Knicks were going to do to him, and he was able to get downhill and get to his spots. And so I think that that was key number 1 to the Pistons getting this win. And then number 2, when you just look at what the Pistons were able to do is just as far as their playing style in this game, I thought that they were far more aggressive in this game. In fact, when you look at the free throw totals, the Detroit Pistons went to the free throw line as a team 34 times. They hit 28 of the 34 free throws for an 82.4%. And then when you look at the Knicks, they only got to the line 19 times and hit 16 of those. And so I just think that the way that the game was played, it really favored what the Pistons wanted to do. And I think another, key aspect to this win was just their ability to get Jalen Duren going. I thought that he had a much better game. He was 6 of 6 from the free throw line, but more importantly, he was getting the rebounds, and he just really was kept off of the boards in the first game. He had 13 rebounds in this one, 12 points as well. And then I'd been talking about the Pistons and just really their veteran presence that they had with this team and how it's really been a great blend. You saw that in game 2. Tobias Harris once again played strong in this one. He had 15 points. He also had 13 rebounds. And then you had Dennis Schroeder, who came over in the trade. He had 20 points, and he was 5 of 6 from the free throw line, hit some big-time threes. And so, look, the Pistons, I think they were the team that came in, and I think that they made the adjustments. And I love the fact that you really, from just the way or just the physicality, the style that they played in game 1, you could tell that they brought that same effort to game 2. They just made some little adjustments and just kind of got the Knicks in this one. And then when you look at the Knicks, I think that you have to be concerned, and this is why I picked the Detroit Pistons to maybe upset the Knicks here. Not maybe, but to upset the Knicks, is because you get Karl Anthony Towns with the 10 points. He had the 6 rebounds, -10 in the plus-minus box score, didn't take a shot in the fourth quarter. That is not going to get it done. And then when you look at Jalen Brunson, scored the 37 points and he had the 7 assists, and he was 9 of 11 from the free throw line, 12 of 27 from the field. But I think that you see that Jalen Brunson was looking for a lot of the calls. He didn't necessarily get that type of contact, and I think that maybe was part of the story of the game as well. And then you have to give just the Pistons more credit with just getting to the boards as well, 48-34 there. So very impressed with what the Pistons were able to do. They did what they needed to as far as getting the split, and that's all you want to do as a road team is get the split. I think it is going to be absolute ruckus when you head back to Detroit. I just like Detroit. I think this is going to be a 6 or 7 game series, but man, there's a lot to like about Detroit. So next up, wanted to talk about the next game that took place here, and that was the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets. And so, look, this was quite the game. The game ended with the Clippers winning 105-102. Didn't have to go into overtime this game. And I think that when you look at this particular contest, I think that this came down to really just the turnovers. I think that you see that the team that has turned the basketball over so far the most in these games has lost. And it was, I guess, the Denver Nuggets' turn in this one. They turned the basketball over 20 times to the 11 of the Clippers, gave up 21 points on that. So I think that the Clippers did a terrific job as far as getting points off of those turnovers. And then when you look at just some other statistics, it suggests that really the Denver Nuggets should have won this game. They dominated in rebounds, 50-32 there. The assist totals were about even. You had the Clippers 24-23 in that one, but the steals, man, the Clippers were terrific, I think, with their activity, 13-8 there. And then when you look at just the fast breaks, the Clippers 18-14. So their ability to not necessarily get into a half court game with the Denver Nuggets was critical. But look, Kawhi Leonard, look, he's that guy. And you just wonder how much can Kawhi continue to carry this Clippers team like this, because he scored 39. He was +6 in the plus minus box score, hit a terrific buzzard beater going into halftime. You could tell it was his night. He was 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And anytime the Clippers needed a basket, you just go to number 2 and he takes care of you. 15 of 19 from the floor, super efficient for Kawhi Leonard in 39 minutes. Zubac, he had another double-double with 16 and 12. And James Harden, it was a good game because he had the 18 and the 7. Not as efficient, I think, as the first game, but still, this is a team that was very much led by Kawhi Leonard. And where I get concerned with the Clippers is just you only get 6 from Nicholas Batum off the bench. You only get 6 from Derek Jones Jr. off the bench and 2 from Ben Simmons. And then once again, from Bogdanovic, you do not get any points. And I just think that he has got to start scoring, because this is a Denver Nuggets team that really, they just have a not so good bench. I'm just going to put it nicely here, because the only thing that they've been getting off of the bench that's been consistent really throughout this season has been Russell Westbrook. And really, wouldn't it be the story of the series if Russell Westbrook is able to beat his former team that they let go this offseason? Because he had another good one. He had 14 in this one, 3 of 6 from the three-point line. I thought he shot with tons of confidence there, and he didn't have as many assists, but still, Russ just bringing the energy out there. So you love that for the Denver Nuggets, but I just think it's going to be tough for them as they go along in this playoffs if they can get out of this first series. But I think that still, with what the Denver Nuggets are doing, I think it still favors them in this series, because you get Jokic, or Nikola Jokic is getting everything that he wants in this series. He had another triple-double, 26. He had 12 rebounds and 10 assists, 8 of 16 from the field. And so he's doing a terrific job of just really settling this team. And I just got to give Coach Adamant a lot of credit, because he's finding ways to keep the starters in there and not wear them down. Jamal Murray is starting to look more and more like the playoff Jamal Murray here. And really, this was all about the Denver Nuggets. They had a chance to get this thing done. I think that some late turnovers is probably really what the story of the game was for the Denver Nuggets. Otherwise, we would be talking about a 2-0 series here. But, just looking at both series, I think that both, road teams took care of business. You got to love what you got with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, but you've got to try to figure out what you want to do with your bench. And then I think with the Denver Nuggets, it's all about taking care of the basketball, because I just think that perhaps the half-court offense of the Denver Nuggets is much better than the Los Angeles Clippers. They've been to the title before. Not to take anything from Kawhi Leonard, who can certainly get it done himself, but I think it's going to take more than just him. And then with the Pistons, look, I just love the energy that they played with. I love the spirit that they played with. Like, they came into this playoffs loose, and they came in confidence. Like, I think that comparatively speaking to the Houston Rockets, a team that just hasn't been there before, you didn't see that type of just that type of experience in looking at this series so far with the Detroit Pistons. Like, they look like a team that they feel like they belong there. They look like a team that feels like very much that they can win this series. And I think that they're set to really shock everybody here. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your key takeaways were from last night's action. Do you think that the Pistons are poised to have a huge upset here in round one? Or do you think, no, it is going to be the Knicks who are going to win this series? Next up, what are you thinking about the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets? Do you feel like that just Kawhi is going to be enough to just carry this Clippers team despite the fact that they're really not getting too much production from their bench? Or do you feel like, no, it is going to be the Denver Nuggets, it is going to be Jamal Murray, it is going to be the Joker, and just really the starters, I should say, from the Denver Nuggets that are going to carry them past the Los Angeles Clippers? So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. This is Clutch Time. And as we always say, see the game and be the game. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.